Good afternoon and welcome to the TMP Booth Crawl for 2021. I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your day today and spending it with us. Our tour is going to be about an hour in length and we've got four 15-minute presentations. The question and answer tab is being monitored, so please do submit any questions you may have to the question and answer tab and we'll get it answered for you as quickly as we can. This year, TMP Pro celebrated its 42nd anniversary. Onstage Stands is also celebrating its 42nd anniversary. And TMP Pro, as you all know, is the distribution side of the business. And we have 18 certified specialists that are here to help with pretty much anything you can throw at us. We are your value added guys in the field, your 12th man, if you want to call it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my dear friend David Tewksbury from Harman. Thank you, David. The floor is yours, sir.
Awesome. Okay, I'll share my screen. First things first, we've got new products coming out this year. Nothing that I can specifically talk about, but I've created this slide just to be able to get everybody's juices flowing, going, who's going to be first? The AKG, JBL, AMX, we don't know. But I would say second quarter, start getting excited for it because we will start releasing products starting second quarter through next year. So there's some really cool things coming up there. A couple of reminders just to start off with. Don't forget that we have our 6-year warranty on our Crown amplifiers going through this year. We extended it. We started it last year and said, you know what? Our amplifiers are that good. Let's take it through this year too. So just keep in mind it's a selling point for your customers. Trade in, trade up. This is a program that we've been running. We're running it now through July. If you have any wireless system, whether it's working or not working, because now we're in the 500 megahertz band. So anything in the below 500 megahertz or above are now illegal to use. So when you've got those house of worships and corporate offices spaces and the bands off the street that have wireless microphones that need to be updated, we'll take them. And there's trade-ins for up to $100 off the price. So that's really good. We also have our always in stock guarantee. We've actually added more SKUs to this now as well. So not a bad deal to say if it doesn't ship within 2 business days, you get an initial discount. So that's something that TMP can benefit from and maybe even offer it, extend it to customers. So that's a really good program. And the cool thing is that from Roland himself, he said, don't forget to say there's more SKUs added to this. So so challenge us. Get that 5%. Come on now. I don't know if any of you have seen these quick pitch guides that I have helped marketing create last year, and we're going to keep creating these. If you don't, Gwen or myself, we can ship them out to you. These are really good PDFs to have as a window open on your screen, or even to have printed out when we actually can see each other face to face. These are, basically elevator pitch guides for you to be able to go through. So we've got some of our biggest selling stuff, which I actually happen to be using right now. This is the Lyra.
Yep.
And the K371 wired headphones. And in the kit, it's the Podcaster Essentials kit. We can't keep this in stock. That is how popular it is. So if you haven't been hip to these, basically you're listening to me on the Lyra. On the front setting, there are 2 capsules in here, 4 capsules in here, 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Sure.
You have a dial on the back where you can select it to be front only or front and back, which I can do. So I can turn it around and talk to you both ways. So if you're sitting at a table across from each other, good to go. Or you can do a tight stereo, sitting side by side, kind of off axis like this. Or, this actually would go really good in a conference room set on the wide stereo, which has a 360. So you can listen to it all the way around. So you could literally walk into a conference room and set this thing up and plug it into your laptop, which it'll auto find it. And once it finds it, then set it to the full 360 and then call in, do your WebEx with 4 people in the room, 5 people in the room, all wearing masks, of course, but, yeah, so it's very popular. The one benefit is, when you're wearing headphones all day long on these calls, right? One of the hardest things is you're wearing, okay, I've got Bluetooth headphones on. Great. I don't have a cord, but I can't hear my own voice. With the Podcaster Essentials Kit, I can actually hear my own voice and your voice. So the callers that I'm talking to, I can hear as well as my own voice. And that's this knob on the front where you can adjust the level of that. And then for your microphone, you can adjust the gain so it's comfortable for you. And you can really get a good balance of it.
Hey, David, I
nice.
Might be a little early to the gun, but I believe you guys just won an award for that wonderful microphone.
Yes, we won basically all of the all of the products that we had been nominated for in the Tech Awards for NAMM. We won.
Congratulations.
So we did, yes. So this is one of them, and the AKG Bluetooth headphones, the 361, 371 BTs.
Yep.
Another one, really, really, really good stuff. As a matter of fact, I finally actually just ordered my own pair of the 371 Bluetooth. So they're coming soon.
Excellent.
I couldn't resist. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get them. So,
great. Thank you.
So, and then these are just some really quick, quick pitch guides. There's this one. This shows some of our portable PA. Like here's this is the Eon One Compact. Have you guys been getting any calls for any of our like 600 series party boxes? They're a consumer party box that has the light show on it.
Right.
Not myself personally, my friend.
Well, if you do, this is if you don't need the light show, this is actually a better powered speaker, battery powered speaker to go to. So I actually got to use this actually. One of my churches actually did a thing over the holidays where they did this drive through, and we had carolers singing, and everybody was on in-ears except for the piano player. So I used this as a piano monitor, set it on the ground, and all I had to do was connect an XLR to it because it was on battery power, because it's got 15 hours on the battery. So it's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Tuke, did that product happen to win a Tech Award?
It sure did. And you know what's interesting too is we just came out with a cable. So on our DMS wireless, which is our 2.4, it's our license-free wireless, the DMS 100, DMS 300, we actually came out with a cable that is on the back of the Eon One Compact. There's USB ports. And so you can actually now use this cable. It's a USB to a power cable, and you can power up the DMS 100 or DMS 300 wireless microphone system. So now you can actually be 100% unplugged and take this thing out into the middle of a park somewhere and have portable PA.
That's great.
Without power. It is a hot swappable battery, so you can actually just pull the battery out and put a new one in. No tools. Like our competitors, you need a tool to actually get to the battery. This is just a little speed nut that opens up the cover, and you can just pull the battery out and put a new one in. So it's a really good solution for when you need, the street performers should all be using it. And then another thing I want to steer you into is, if you haven't been hip to it, is the IRX 108 Bluetooth and the 112 Bluetooth. I have nothing against our Eon 600s because they're absolutely amazing, right? But think of this as almost the Eon 600 killer, because it is this 1300 watt peak amplifiers in it. You can Bluetooth control them, and Bluetooth audio. It will handle Bluetooth audio, and you can actually Bluetooth up to 4 of them. So, and you can also do that with the Eon One Compact as well. So this is a really, really neat solution, and the price is right. So it comes in an 8-inch version, the 108, and the 12-inch version. So obviously, if you need a 15-inch version, I would go into the Eon 615. But these little boxes don't get the praise they should, because they absolutely sound amazing, and the budget is right. They are right in that price range that we need to be. And then we also came out with, just at the end of last year, we came out with the 15-inch sub for the IRX. And I actually was a part of listening to these for the first time before they went into production. And just me personally, the 12 sounds amazing without it, and it sounds amazing with the 15 sub. But for that small little DJ that goes around the performing, doing these small 200-300 person weddings, the 108 with the 15 sounds killer. It is so punchy and deep. It just sounds, the 8 with the 15 just sounds amazing. I actually giggled when I heard it for the first time. And the team looked at me and was like, "Are you giggling?" I was like, "Yeah, because that sounds great. I like it with the 12, but the 108 sounds so good with that 15-inch sub." So that's my little spiel about that. But the sound bar is becoming really popular too as well, especially in conference rooms where they don't want to have to deal with ceiling speakers. They want to be able to just take an audio off the TV, or something of that sort, because it is powered. So it's a 2.0 sound bar. It was originally designed for hotel rooms and cruise ships. And the design of it was to have the energy forward and not through the wall behind it, so that your hotel room next to you doesn't have to listen to the TV show you're watching, another episode of Seinfeld. Really, Eugene? Go to bed. It's another episode of Seinfeld. I'm trying to sleep here. So
how are we doing on time, Gino?
I think we're doing pretty good.
We got about 2 minutes, gentlemen.
Okay.
And then this nifty little guide. These are another one that we are just like running out of stock left and right on. This is the Notepad series. For the money and for what it does, these things are the best. There's the Notepad 5, Notepad 8 FX, and the 12 FX. The 5 does not have FX built into it. So it's a smaller version. The 8FX does have the Lexicon FX engine built into it. And the 12FX obviously does too. What's the Notepad 5 and the Notepad 8 are a 2x2 USB. So you got 2 in and 2 out. So you can record 2 channels at a time. On the 12, you can do 4. It's a 4x4. And the 12s we are having a hard time keeping, because try and find a USB audio interface for recording audio or playing back audio that's a 4x4 in that price range. You're not going to get it as a mixer. You're going to get it as a 1 RU box or a half RU box, right? So the mic pre's in this are absolutely stunning. As a matter of fact, Heritage Christian School, which I kind of had an in because I sing with the music teacher there. She has her entire staff on the FX12s, and they do their worship every week with all the kids, where she's playing keyboard and singing. She has a P420 for her microphone, and she's got K371 headphones. So she is completely Harman outfitted, and every week she does private lessons and her worship and her choir practice, all remotely with the FX12 and the K371s and the P420, which is basically the 2 steps up from the P120. The P120 is another good option too as well.
Cool.
So these are like really hot products that I wanted to make sure we covered so that you guys, so y'all know when to sell them.
great.
Well, David, I have to thank you again, for me. Thank you. First off, just good to see you, brother, as
You
always.
too.
Miss
I
Gwen,
just
Mark,
and
everybody, just so good to see you. And
and
thank you again for the support and the partnership.
you have missed your calling because you should totally be a radio DJ.
Oh,
man.
that's what Mama said. Mama said I had a great face for radio. So yes, on that note, we will go there back to the drive time.
Great.
But again,
Well,
everybody at
thank
Harmon, all the guys up at Hanud, thank you for everything and thank you for participating. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you all for
Absolutely.
joining.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
All right, everyone.
Take care.
Next up, we've
All
got our
right.
dear friends and partners at American DJ and Mr. Chris Terso. Please, the floor is yours, sir.
Hey, everybody. I'm Chris, and I also have John Schwilly on with me. We're from Healy Sales, and we're your local reps for TMP, representing the ADJ group of companies, which includes all the ADJ products, as well as Elation Professional and Global Trust. So today we want to tell you about our new Encore Profile Pro ellipsoidals and Fresnels. And the best way to do that right now is play a couple of short demo videos we have queued up. And if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A and we will answer them as soon as we can. So you have an idea of positioning price-wise. The Encore Profile Pros have a map of $12.99 for the color version and $10.49 for the warm white.
Oh, cool.
And the lenses start at $229 in all different degrees, which you'll see in the video. And then the Encore Fresnels, there's 3 different models ranging from $179 to $649. And we're also giving away today in the raffle a Power Bar.
Yeah.
Power Bar 65.
Very cool.
Which anyone can use.
Oh yeah.
And without
got
further
one in my gig bag for sure. For sure.
Nice. So good luck and enjoy the videos. And here we go with the first one. Let me know if this does not come up full screen. I hope it does. Let's see.
Pro Warm White.
Let me back that up. Okay. Go full screen. Okay.
Hello, my
Looks
name is
good.
Jake Rhodes with ADJ, and today we'll be going over 2 brand new units, the Encore Profile Pro Warm White and the Encore Profile Pro Color. The Warm White version is powered by a 260-watt Warm White LED that outputs a Kelvin temperature of 3200 and emits around 10,000 lumens. The Color version is powered by a 250-watt LED that has red, green, blue, white, amber, and lime LEDs, which emit around 5,000 lumens. The lumen output differs depending on what lens you are using. We offer 14, 19, 26, 36, and 50-degree lenses. Please check our website for individual photometric reports with each different lens too. Both of these industry standard parts from the shutter assembly forward, meaning if you have any other equipment from your current ellipsoidal units, it'll work with these. A few examples are the shutter assembly itself, B-size gobos, gobo rotators, motorized and manual irises, lens tubes, gel frames, top hats, half hats. On the
Chris,
front.
we just lost audio, brother. Yep.
One quick note on using older style lens tubes that were designed for incandescent lamps. These are not as optimized as newer style lenses made for LED fixtures, and you may run into some focusing issues. On top of that, these will not allow the same output as our lenses do, as they have been engineered specifically for LED sources. Now let's talk about the differences between these 2 units. Like previously mentioned, one is a locked-in 3200 Kelvin, and the other is a color source. However, we have actually specially designed an independent dynamic white fader in the color version, so you can achieve color-corrected shots ranging from 2500 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin. This dynamic white range, along with a high CRI rating of over 90, means you are getting a high quality of white light. Similarly, in the dedicated warm white unit, the CRI is an impressive 97. Other than having different DMX modes, that's where the differences end. Hardware-wise, these units are the same. They both feature power locking in and out ports, 5-pin DMX ins and outs, a USB software update port, a sturdy metal grab handle on the rear for easy transportation, a safety cable lubrication, and finally, our Sure-Lock locking tilt mechanism. I personally think this is a very underrated feature, as the tilt mechanism will lock into every 10th degree because of rubber teeth inside the tilt mechanism. This minimizes the issue of losing or dropping focus when you have heavy weight.
Oops.
Gets to tighten down the tilt knob. And we all know that one person. The uses for these new units are vast, but some may include theaters, houses of worship, large venues in general, ballrooms, meeting halls, trade shows, event production, gobo projection, and in general, anywhere you may need an ellipsoidal unit. You can check out the new Encore Profile Pro Warm White and the Encore Profile Pro Color at adj.com.
There you go. There goes the first one.
Hey, Chris, there's a quick question. Is there a zoom option for those? The zoom lens?
Well, the zoom would be the lens that you put in specifically, that
Okay.
locks you into that degree.
Okay.
Depending on what, yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll go to the Fresnels now.
Hello, and welcome to an in-depth look into ADJ's Encore FR series of LED Fresnels. Starting with the FR20 DTW, this unit is a compact 2-inch Fresnel that features a 17-watt warm white LED. Some accessories that come included with this unit are a barn door for shaping the light, safety cables, a gel frame, and a frost filter to change the beam angle from 19 degrees to 45 degrees. There are multiple ways of operating this unit, the simplest being the intensity knob on the back of the unit. Another way is through the use of a dimmer pack, like our Unipack 2. This is possible through its triac dimming, allowing this unit to operate on a dimmer rather than constant current electricity. This LED also includes dim to warm technology, which replicates the amber glow of an incandescent lamp. Moving on to the mid-range Fresnel, the Encore FR50Z, which is a both step up in power and size, going to a 50-watt LED engine and a 6-inch Fresnel body. This 50-watt LED outputs 1500 lumens and has a high CRI of 96 at 3000 Kelvin. The zoom can be changed manually through rotating a knob on the rear of the unit, allowing for a tight zoom in of 14 degrees and a zoom out range of 30 degrees. Unlike the 2-inch version, this requires a constant current and cannot be run on a dimmer. However, this can be controlled via DMX or through its onboard LCD menu. Other accessories included are a gel holder, barn door, and a safety cable for the barn door. Finally, stepping up to our flagship Fresnel, the Encore FR150Z. This unit is a standard 8-inch Fresnel powered by a 150-watt warm white LED, outputting 4600 lumens and a high CRI of 96 at 3000 Kelvin. It can be
We just lost audio, Chris.
and a safety cable for the barn door. This flagship model also includes a manual zoom range from 15 to 38 degrees, which can be operated by rotating the knob on the back of the unit in order to reach the desired zoom range. Both the Encore FR50Z and 150C have multiple DMX modes, allowing you to choose how you want to run the units. Either as a single channel dimmer, replicating a traditional incandescent Fresnel, or with its higher DMX channel modes, allowing control over 16-bit dimming, strobe rate, type of strobe, and finally multiple dimming modes, allowing you to control the look and how quickly the LED fades to black. You can find more information on the Encore FR20, Encore FR50Z, and Encore FR150Z at adj.com.
There we go. So
So the next fixtures that we would mention in the Encore series, hi everybody, I'm John Schwilly, I work with Chris, and the other fixtures we have in the Encore series are some outdoor fixtures. We have the Burst 200, which looks like a traditional Mulfray blinder. Then we have a 100 IP, a UV IP fixture, and an RGBW IP fixture, as well as a couple of older Encore profiles. Those actually have zoomable lenses in the older models, but the newer models have higher output and are a more traditional ellipsoidal style fixture. Then you can see all the lenses and everything that we have. And a couple of streaming packs that are available too on ADJ's website, as well as, sorry, not ADJ's website. You can look up information on ADJ's website, and you can get those through the music people. So now we'd like to open the floor up for any questions that you guys might have. I know we had a couple of, we had at least one question earlier written into the Q&A on the chat, but if anybody else has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them live.
John, any of the ellipsoidal lenses interchangeable with the other brand, the 3-letter brand?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
All the new Pro model stuff with the lenses are swappable through the different manufacturers, and there are a lot of different manufacturers that are associated with that 3-letter brand that we were talking about, and yes, they're all made to the standard Source 4 size.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you, guys. Anything else?
Got another one in the question and answer here, guys. Lamp life, fixture life. What are you guys seeing with these?
Okay, no problem. So all of the LED sources from ADJ are going to be set to at least 30,000 hour LED life on the fixtures. Lamp life, now in terms of lamps, that would depend on the fixtures in question. But since we're talking about LED sources, generally it's going to be 30,000 hours.
Awesome.
Unless otherwise stated.
Great. Perfect.
Yep. 2-year warranty on everything.
Yes.
Yep.
We have a 2-year warranty on all of our stuff. LED sources included, of course.
Great.
Yep.
Well, awesome, guys. Well, John and Chris, really do appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day. We appreciate the partnership and the friendship. You know that. So
you too.
Please, thank you so much for your
us.
time. Yeah, absolutely. You guys be well and be safe. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate the time, guys. Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Be safe.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. And next up, everyone, we got my friend, but also the host with the most, Dave Leach from Audix. And I believe we got Mr. Young and Lofty also joining us too from Audix. So please, gentlemen, the floor is yours.
How's it doing, gang? Lofty and Dave here from Audix Microphones. And
hey guys.
Let's do this. There you go. I'm all masked up. I want to keep you guys safe. Simple as that. All right. So
excellent.
Dave and I are going to show you a little bit about what's been going on here at the Audix Nerve Center. We're going to show you a short 6-minute video about our wireless, and then Dave's going to jump in and show you what we can do with our demo conference room that we put together for you guys. So
awesome.
Well, wait a second now, Lofty. You got to preface this video that it stars you. And this is your debut appearance here, and it's an award-winning performance, at least in my opinion. So
that's great.
As the co-director and editor of this fantastic piece of video, I think he should be nominated for an award. So it's good stuff.
We'll see what the award turns out to be. So let me just share my screen here. Where are we? And let me know when you guys can see this. And
yes, sir.
Away we go.
Don't have it yet, Lofty.
Not yet, my friend.
Okay, we are there. Bingo.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Got no audio, Lofty.
Yeah, Lofty, there should be a share audio tab up in the right-hand corner, I believe, my friend.
and a body pack, but we have a lot of different.
There we go. Thank you.
That was just sound check. It's all good. There we go.
Hey, it's Carl and Lofty from Audix Microphones here at the Audix headquarters in Wilsonville, Oregon. And today we're going to go through the 60 series Audix Performance wireless system. And today the unit we're looking at is the AP62 C210. And these systems are really great for various different environments, whether it's house of worship, club venues, DJ events, corporate AV, and presentations. And they're really robust, really great systems. This dual channel receiver that we're looking at today comes with an OM2 transmitter, a lavalier, and a body pack. But we have a lot of different configurations, but overall, they all have a lot in common. Lofty, tell us about that.
Well, with 64 megahertz of bandwidth in the 500 megahertz system, you can get 2,560 tunable frequencies, or you can have up to 20 channels of simultaneous wireless running at the same time.
Very impressive. Now let's get into how we use this. One of the best parts about these Audix wireless systems is how easy it is to set them up. It really comes down to 3 steps: scan, sync, play. Lofty, will you show us a little bit about that?
Yes. So first thing we want to do is scan. I use the hotkey right here and press and hold, and that's going to take you to the scan function. You'll see the little arrows are going by there, letting you know it's looking for a free frequency. Takes usually about 10 to 20 seconds to find something good. Okay, we found a frequency. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sync up the transmitter using the infrared sensor here.
Step 2.
And we just hit the sync button, hold up the transmitter to there, and now you'll see we have an RF connection. And as I unmute the transmitter, we're going to have audio.
Step 3.
Sounds great, right?
Excellent. Scan, sync, play. It's just that simple. Now that we've shown you how to set it up, let's get into some of the more advanced features for the people that want to have a little bit more control over their sound. And to do that, we can get into the menus. How, Lofty?
Well, just press and hold the set button over here, and that'll take you into the menus where you have access to group and channel. And also you have a level control for the output of the receiver. You can also access the squelch, which is how well the unit will reject any kind of interference. If you are in a rough RF environment, you might need to adjust that. Also, you can set the display to either display the groups and channels or the frequencies. You can also lock the receiver, which is great if you have a system where lots of people might be using it. This will avoid buttons accidentally getting bumped and messing up your settings. The Pilot's a very advanced feature. I don't recommend people getting into that unless they come talk to us first. You can scan from the menus. You can also name the channel, which is great because you can pick whoever's on that particular channel, vocal 1, vocal 2. And also, you can lock the transmitter from the receiver. This is great.
Wow.
Because what this allows you to do is if you activate this and then resync the transmitter, now the talent can't accidentally turn the microphone off or mute it while it's in use.
Something you never want to do live.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
You also have the mode. This is where you can get in and select your own frequencies from the system. If you're using Wireless Workbench, for example, and it's a pretty complex setup, this allows you to get there.
All right, now that we've walked through some of the more advanced features and some of the menu options, one of the other great things about our wireless systems is the components. There's a lot of different configurations that you can use, and it really comes down to what you need. So, you know, whether it's a handheld microphone, whether it's a lavalier, whether it's a headset, there's a lot of different options, right?
Yeah, and one of the things I like is they're all metal boxes, so these things are durable. And
Absolutely.
this is our handheld transmitter, which you can get with 3 of our different capsules, the OM2 and OM5 dynamic capsules and the VX5 condenser capsule, which sounds great, by the way. They all spin off so that you can mix and match them as you like. And also what you'll see under here, under the hood, is a sensitivity control, the little dip switch in the middle there. That allows you to set the correct sensitivity for whichever capsule you're putting on there. And simple as that.
Excellent. And then for headsets and body packs, we even have guitar configurations.
Yeah, there's a full range of microphones that'll go with the body pack, which has a TA3 connector here, which also called a mini jack. We have several different headsets available. We have presentation headsets. We also have a more performance-oriented headset. Also great for aerobics, by the way, because it's a little bit more robust. And as you say, the guitar cable and 3 sets of lavaliers as well.
That's really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to all the various options, components, and configurations of the Audix Performance Wireless System. You can get way more information, including all of the different configurations, how-to manuals, tutorials, all of that online now at audixusa.com.
So I wanted to show that. We just completed that last week when I was down at the office. 60 series has been in the line for some time, but we've been out of stock on it because of some, we did some refinements in it, some changes, some improvements on the companion circuitry, and definitely some pent-up demand in the category because once we were back in stock a couple of weeks ago, we moved a whole bunch of units immediately to fill some back orders, but our stocking position on that family 60 series is really, really good now, and we anticipate it being able to react to any demand going forward. So the point of that video is 60 series is back better than ever. We're gonna hopefully, if we can pull it together when I'm down next week, do a follow-up video of some of the accessories, including the antenna combiners. But for house of worship applications, gosh, 60 series is definitely, fits a niche that, that I think you guys probably get inquiries about all the time in those systems, where they need, small to mid-sized house of worship, upwards of a dozen systems typically deployed. And when you factor in the antenna combiner system, especially in those mid-sized deployments, that's where we can be a real good value. So that's that. Now I'm going to hand over to Dave Garlett, who is also he's a new member to our team as of a few weeks ago. Dave comes to us with a strong integrator background as well as work for a representative out here in the Pacific Northwest. He's a QSys Jedi programming dude, and he's helping us take a concept that we came up with a few months ago over the finish line, which is a demo room to highlight our most popular in-ceiling mics. And we're about 95% of the way there on the room. We thought this would be a good time to introduce it to you.
Sure.
And Dave will expand upon what we plan to do with it, both as a sales tool, but also as a kind of a value-added tool for our customers. So go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the conference room laboratory here at Audix headquarters. And, what we got going on here is what really is a typical conference room. However, we have every flavor of Audix conferencing microphone installed. And I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to kind of give you a graphic pictorial of what's going on. So what you see here is what element of and for example, right now I'm on our M3 microphone, and you can see what element the Dugan mixer is choosing at the moment. And we're seeing a real-time spectrum analyzer that will come into play where what I want to do in the future is when people are commissioning and tuning these rooms, it's very akin to mixing monitors, where you at the soundboard don't really get to experience what is happening. And what will be able to happen is you'll be able to call me here in the room, and we'll be able to objectively make decisions. You'll be able to see what's happening on your end when we're tuning a room. So very important, we can incorporate that as well. But what I want to do here is I can flip through the microphones here, and what you'll hear is when I change a microphone, the echo canceling will take about a half second to adjust, but then you'll hear the various microphones. So now I just switched to the M70, and I'll just go down the line here while I'm yakking along. So here we are on the M55. And way on the other end of the room here is the M40, which I'm very much impressed with how well that works on the other side of the room. And then right here in front of me, I have the M63. And I've just put together a combo. If I had a group around the table, me in the chairman position has the M63, yet the folks around the table would be able to be heard through the M3 and other mics as we kind of move along. And that's kind of what's going on here. It very much well tells the story of what's happening in the room. I'll be able to show you the microphones in action in real time. And let me just back out of that. And, that's kind of what we got going on in here. And we want to invite people to schedule a call with us if they're setting up a room on their end and they want to hear, some sort of reference, and I can kind of graphically show you what we're receiving on our end to try to communicate that better.
That's great, David. That's impressive and really welcomed. Thank you very, very, very much. That's great. To be able to do that in real time with clients is a huge value add for sure.
I wish I had it when I was in the field.
Just having the ability also for your customers, end users, to be able to actually hear the product in a real time deployment. That it's great to look at a spec sheet, but especially when they're trying to make an analysis and look at different budget scenarios potentially with the trend being so much beam forming solutions out there right now, which are certainly legit solutions for certain applications. The one unique thing that that this shows, especially for like the tri-element mic RM3, well, even the single ones like Dave was talking about, the shotgun capsule on the opposite side of the room, not only is your performance on par, if not exceeding what you can do in a beamforming situation on occasion, it's also the commissioning aspect of it. And that's one point Dave has kind of brought up through this whole process.
Amen.
Is that you get one of our get a good quality microphone element in a good positioning. And, with the Audix solutions, you're 85% of the way there. And the last 15%, Dave can show you on how to just put the icing on the cake, so to speak, and make it even that much better. But out of the box, you're already set up with a really, legit solution, just with basic design considerations for any of our microphones.
Understood. Well, that's great.
Definitely.
Well, David Lofty, Mr. Young, Dave Leach, thank you guys so much for participating. It's really good having you guys here and seeing your mugs, and this is really, really, really great. Thank you so much, and thank you for the partnership over the years. And here's to 221. We're going to do this.
Doubt.
It's going to be good for sure. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thank you, guys. Be safe.
Hey, everybody.
And all right, folks, and the grand finale is my dear friend and our friends from Digico, Mr. Ryan Shelton. And sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gino. Thanks everybody for joining us and being with us today. We know what it's like to give up your time during kind of this, I don't know what you want to call it, virtual over, I don't know. You're just overwhelmed. I know you're getting so much stuff thrown at you virtually. So thank you for participating and being around. So I'm with Digico. Digico is distributed in the US by Group One Limited. And we distribute a number of other audio brands. We have some lighting brands as well. I have nothing to do with. So I'm primarily just focused on Digico and Clang, which Digico bought. So that makes it really, really easy. So today, I want to take you through kind of what our latest product and kind of venture into the market is. It's a really oddly named product called 4U4. We realize that. But hopefully that'll stick in your head a little bit. Normally, you're going to find Digico in some of the largest houses of worship, touring applications, award shows, TV tapings, whatever it is, you're going to find Digico in kind of those large events. Digico is also, as most manufacturers do, broaden their line, and they came down to a very reasonable price point. But there was kind of this threshold we met where we couldn't really get below in a price point. And there's a lot of work at that price point that's out there. So what they did is they essentially crammed 4 smaller consoles into one, and it's a rack mount chassis, and that's what the 4U4 is, and the association with the name, or the number 4 in the name. So let's jump into it real quick. What is it? So first off, it's 4 zones or 4 areas, each with a dedicated stereo masters and a solo bus. You have 128 input channels. Those have full DSP on them. You have 48 auxes, groups, matrix, or effects. Those have full DSP on them as well. Overall, it is a 512 by 512 point router. So you can either just directly route inputs to outputs, or you can route them to input channels for processing and then via output buses. It runs at 96 kilohertz standard. It's got 4 DMI IO card slots. We'll go over these more in detail in a minute, but this is the Digicode multi-channel interface. It's the same cards we use on our entire line now. Basically, if you want Dante, get a Dante card, shove it in there. The current version, that's 64 channels at 96K, also offers sample rate conversion. So you could run your Dante system at 48K and you could run this system at 96K, and it would handle the up and down sample rate conversion for that. You also have 3 SD rack IO card slots, and these are for premium analog mic pre's and line output cards. You can also put AES in and out in here if you need it as well. Show you some pictures in a minute. So all of that's in a main housing, and then you add onto it remote IP-based PoE controllers. So these can be anything from an in-wall unit to flying faders, all that kind of stuff. We'll go through those in detail as well. One of the keys to the system, though, is macros. And macros are basically you push a button and everything happens for you. And that's where the kind of the ease of use from this system comes around. So if you're in a multi-purpose gym, cafetorium, whatever, you know, they have these things at both schools and churches. We'll use these, and you say, hey, we use this space for church on Sunday morning, so press a button and it's going to set everything for Sunday morning. They use this for a youth thing on Tuesday night, so push the second button. They want to set up for just everybody meeting and having a meal together on Wednesday. They might have a school or somebody meeting there to do a performance, or community might use that space as well. So you can just have push of a button, front of the panel, or via the software will trigger those types of setups. And then finally, you have Mac and PC and iPad apps. So these are all different ways you can control it. You can use external controllers like QSys or Crestron or AMX, things you're already used to, trigger it as well. But the benefit here with the Mac, PC, and iPad apps is you can do user level logins. So you could say, hey, you don't know what you're doing, and we're going to limit you to just pushing faders and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different control flexibility from that. So what can you use it for? Obviously, houses of worship, K through 12 schools and universities, multi-purpose rooms, theme parks, basically anywhere audio is a priority. Now, as I take you through this unit, you're going to think to yourself, okay, this is somewhat similar to other control first hardware options that you already have. So just thinking of other manufacturers that really and truly own this space and kind of defined it, but they come at it as a control first application. We're an audio company, and so you should think about this option really when audio is a priority. So whether that's spoken word at a church where, you know, intelligibility is paramount, whether this is a performance venue, or whether it's going to vary between the two. So think about it where audio is critical. All right, so first up, inside of this one housing, we kind of have these 4 software-defined areas, and then we have 128 channels available to us, 48 auxes, groups, matrix, or effects, and we can just assign these wherever we want. So kind of in this first scenario, you'll see we could just throw everything into one area. So it's 120 inputs, 48 buses, pretty sizable console that you can have right there. Or you could evenly distribute them across all the different groups. So 32, 32, 32, 32, 12 buses for each of those. You could also just completely a la carte this and configure this even dynamically how you need to for those areas. All right, so here's what the unit looks like, and we'll take a closer look at this. So 6U rack, 19-inch rack mount, of course. You have a headphone jack on the front. This is for your solo buses. So the idea being that if you're in the equipment room, you're doing the initial setup and configuration of audio, you can just plug your laptop in here, put some headphones on, queue up and solo and listen to those inputs right from here, kind of doing your initial setup, so you don't have to go back and forth or jump on the radios. Here are those macros that I was talking about. So they have TFT displays where you can label all these: Sunday service, wedding, you know, multi-purpose, band, whatever needs to happen. Just push of a button. Those are also multicolored LEDs that'll tell you the status of which one's been triggered as well. There's another TFT status display, general stuff, power supply is working, firmware version, all that good stuff. Here's your network interface. So when it's all rack mounted up and looking pretty, you can just plug your laptop straight in from the front and grab a hold of that. We also have a secured USB drive slot. This is meant for you to take WAV files, pre-recorded messages, announcements, things that you may want, and secure this as part of this. Obviously, this is for our cruise ship clients, theme park clients, and even some distributed audio applications, schools, and stuff like that that you may want. Not going to be more commonly for the house of worship, but you may find some uses for it there. All right, taking a look at the back of the unit. Obviously, this is the business end. This is where everything's happening. So let's take a closer look. Here is another network port. This is meant to be permanently connected to your building-wide network. You have what's called an A-star port. So this is 128 channels of audio at 96K by 128 channels. Think of it as a multiplex connection, and I'll show you a breakout box in a second. That'll take you down to where the racks connect. There's a redundant connection as well. You are able to run these in redundant connections if you want. And then here are 4 A3232 ports. Each one of these ports can handle 32 by 32 IO at 96K. I'll show you our devices, but these are just 4 direct connections for if things are within, 100 meters or so of this box. Think of the A stars before this as if something's further away or you have a lot of IO in one location. You just want to send one Cat6 cable to a breakout box and simplify your wire runs. We also have word clock, so if you need to follow an external system. We have GPIO right on the unit. We also have remote GPIO via network, so I'll show you that in a minute. And then we have 4 of those DMI card slots. Now, each one of these are capable of 64 channels by 64 channels at 96K. A lot of them come with sample rate conversion. I'll show you all those card options in a minute. Here are those premium analog mic pre's and line out cards. You'll see the blue cards in there are 32-bit microphone pre's, really, really high-end stuff beyond studio quality. I mean, we have a lot of people record albums, both live albums, and somebody just did a big tape transfer of their library using these pre's. They're so linear, so clean. It's a great option as well. And then here are redundant PSUs. Those come standard, so nothing you need to order on that side. So it's just automatic backups. So let's jump into controllers. Here is the A-Control 1 single gang Decora push button encoder, PoE powered. They make a US and European sizes, not that you care about the European, but they're there. Up to 32 of these can be connected, and you can distribute these throughout and assign each one individually. So if you wanted to control certain inputs or an output for a zone or something like that, you can set that all up as well. And then just push the button, jump between different sources or master, whatever makes sense. Now, if you cram 6 of those together in a chassis, you have the A-Control 6, basically the same controller, same encoder with the push button function, but we add 6 more buttons at the bottom. Now, those can be assigned to anything. So they could be additional banks. So if you need more inputs or aux masters or something like that that you want to control, you set those up on the different banks. Also, those can directly trigger scenes. So if this is something you want to bring in and jump between things, you could also do something so simple as have, the 6 button there, trigger GPO, which triggers the TVs to turn on, or the projector screen and projector to lower, or something like that, or just trigger something within your control system. Now, the big version of this is 8 channels. These are 100 millimeter moving faders. This requires a PoE plus switch to be powered or an external 12 volt PSU. Up to 16 of these can be connected, and you have everything we talked about before with moving faders this time. It also is meant to have a cutout within your desk, and then you can just place this in it, and it's going to give a nice finished surface. So if you think at a kind of a more traditional church, maybe your Lutheran, Episcopal, Catholic churches, you're going to have a nice desk or wall area or something where you're going to mount this into. It's going to be a nice clean interface, but simple as well to operate. Here's that remote GPIO I was talking about. So it's 8 channels of general purpose input and output, and it's just PoE powered over the network. So you can have up to 8 of these on the network. Rack mount kit, of course, the usual stuff available. So here's one of the IO pieces. This is the A168 stage. So 16 in, 8 analog outs. Basically connect to this and then daisy chain onto a second one if you want. And then there is a 4U rack mount kit available for this one. And then this is actually a piece of IO that you could get excited about. So this is 16 in and 4 out analog, but every input and output has a dynamic LCD scribble strip, which is awesome. You label that input and patch it in the software, it labels here. Those displays time out, so you don't have to be looking at a glowing labels if you put them on like the back of the stage across a church or a fellowship hall or something, or chapel. Excuse me. So the idea here is just to simplify for the user, right? They push a button on the front of the unit that recalls it, and then the inputs are going to be named and labeled. So are the IO boxes as well. This one fits in a standard ANIMA back box, and you have an option to hardwire the PSU as well, of course, to meet code and all of that good stuff. Here's that multiplexer, basically, I mentioned before. So an A star on one end breaks out to 4 of the A3232s. So if you need to extend the distance away from the unit, or you just have a lot of IO in one location, you can do that. Right here, briefly, are those DMI cards. So probably the most popular, obviously, Dante. We have 2 variations of that. One with sample rate conversion and a higher channel count at 96K, and then one that does 32 channels at 96K, and going to save you a little bit of money there. Then you have options like Aviom, Wave Sound Grid, Opticore, MADI, both coax and twisted pair, mic pre's, analog in and out, and AES as well. All right. Last thing before I let you go and let you ask any questions if you have them is just a couple of wiring diagrams to show you how some of this can be used. So here's a standalone application. You're going to see here that we have 3 meeting rooms. We have a rehearsal space and a live venue. So when we connect up, first, we're going to connect the outputs either directly to processing or amplifiers. That could be via Dante or analog or whatever you prefer in your setup. And then we're going to add in some IO. So here in the rehearsal space, you're going to see we have one of the in-wall permanent boxes. In the live venue, maybe that's something where they, pull these out as needed. And we got 2 of the portable M168 stages, and you can see their daisy chain there as well. Now let's add in some controllers. So each one of the A control 1s happen in the meeting rooms. We have a little portable A control 6 in the rehearsal space, and the live venue can bring in the one with the moving faders. And all of that is just basic network topology. Get yourself a PoE switch, connect it all together, connect it back to the main unit, and assign your controllers, and you're good. So hopefully a pretty simple setup there. Now, if this were a church, you could have areas like your lobby, your backstage, chapel, maybe the main sanctuary, and maybe that gymnacafnatorium thing we were talking about. So feed the processing in the amps, add in your in-wall boxes as needed, portable boxes as needed, wire those up to the A controllers or the A3232 ports, put in your controllers, network everything together. Pretty simple as well. So you just kind of build out whatever your system needs. Performing Arts Center, same type of thing. So we got our different IO pieces. So in the pit, stage left and right, got a little founders room where they might do some before, pre and after show things with a portable controller. So now they may bring in a larger Digico system. This may be something they rent. And this is where that Opticore protocol would come in. So you'll actually see here that we're bringing in this Quantum 338 and SD rack for maybe a larger POPs thing. Fantastic. Connect all the controllers together that are needed. And then we may also have a full Dante network. So we can feed the PA, we can take inputs from wireless microphones, feed Dante PoE headphone amps from there as well. And then last thing, brief shot of the software here. This, if it's run on a touchscreen computer, you can actually control everything from here, and you don't need controllers. So 4 areas across the top, select the one you're in. You get 36 faders, and then your main area here for controlling things like processing, busing, routing, engine setup, all that kind of stuff. So that is the quick version of that. Do we have any questions in there?
No, but I'm tired watching you, brother. Indeed. That was great.
Awesome.
Actually, let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. How many devices can run the software simultaneously, sir?
That I don't think there's a limit on. Theoretically, I mean, we've done it with dozens before. So if we need to check in on that, I'll do that. For like iPads, I think you're up to, I want to say 16 of those. And then they can have different user logins and stuff like that as well.
Great. Thank you. Well, my friend, I truly appreciate you taking time out of your busy day and
Awesome.
spending it with our clients and with us. We really do appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Glad to do it. Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. You have a great day.
You too.
All right, everybody. Well, we're going to close this session out today. Again, everybody, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. And we appreciate all of your business and support, and we look forward to you on another tour. Have a great day, everyone. Be well.